Hi, beautiful people. The human design transits. This has been like my most requested thing to talk about, I think, is the transits in human design, because everyone knows about the transits in astrology, right? Ever since the Great Conjunction that we had, people have been more and more into astrology and more aware of the transits, the moon cycles, but each transit is deeply unique depending on where it is in human design, like what gate it's in and how that gate that it's in is affecting your chart on an individual level. It's so crucial to know specifically like how this energy is impacting you, because it's going to impact everyone differently. You know, like, have you ever experienced, like, everyone's talking about this one full moon or this one new moon, and they're like, this is the biggest new moon of the year, this is the biggest blah 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 blah, and you're like, well, I didn't really feel anything. Probably because it didn't transit anything that activated anything in your human design chart. That's where astrology, that's kind of what is missing from astrology, is how does it apply to you as an individual? How does it apply to your energetic makeup, right? Your literal like genetics and biochemistry, which human design measures and shows us. So that's why it's so important to just know what to look for in your human design and to understand how these transits are impacting, you know, not only your astrology, but your human design, because that's really going to show you, oh, okay, well, if that new moon is in a center I have open or undefined and it's not connecting to any other gates in my chart, it's not going to be a big transit for me. It's not going to be a big deal. But say, for example, if a transit is connecting to a gate that you have dormant, right? So, and let me pull up my picture again. So in this example, this is a, you can't really see very clearly, but at the bottom down there, if you look to where that triangle on the right is open, the solar plexus center is open, and you can see the 36 is a hanging gate, right? It's a dormant gate because that center is undefined. So if this were someone's chart, obviously this is the transits because you only see black lines, but if this were someone's chart, you know, and there was a new moon or a full moon or whatever transiting to, let's say, as an example, gate 22, it wouldn't impact this person really, because they don't have definition in their solar plexus center. It wouldn't connect to any other gates in their chart that would create like a channel, that would create like a full impact of energy, right, or an activation. So it really deeply depends on where in your human design chart these transits are hitting. This is why I'm doing a class on this, to teach you how to find this stuff in your chart, which you can book your spot through the link in my bio. But it deeply, like, I can't just generalize based on type, because it depends, you know, like if you have gate 3 in your sacral center, but it's undefined, then you actually have a defined sacral center right now because of where Pluto is, you know, so it deeply depends on the gate makeup of your design, not just your type. But I'm just using that as an example because projectors, manifestors, and reflectors don't have a defined sacral. But again, like I said, it deeply depends on what's in your chart, because it is so empowering once you truly understand how to operate as your true self and how to navigate through these transits that might be affecting you in a really just tumultuous way. Like I was talking about a little bit earlier with if you have transits right now that are affecting your chart and creating emotional waves, it might feel really uncomfortable. It might feel really, you know, jarring, of like, I'm usually in such an even keel, chill person. Like, why do I feel so emotional? Why do I feel so unclear right now? Why do I feel so lost or confused? Or probably because you have emotional wave transit in your chart right now. And so it really gives you insight into, oh, this is happening because this is the information that I'm being fed from the stars, from the neutrino stream, from the star fields, like from the cosmos. It's not me. It's just information that I'm receiving that I can choose to observe and be aware of and understand, like, oh, that's why this is happening. But it doesn't mean that you are that way or that you will be that way forever. Transits are transitory. They're all temporary. So that is one of the many reasons I'm super freaking excited for this class, to teach you all how to use this information and apply it to your chart. Because man, I'm realizing more and more these like horoscopes that I myself have consumed for so long, and that so many of you I'm sure consume as well, like based on your rising sign, based on your moons, like they're just not as accurate or specific or helpful as they could be, because they're extremely general. And if you know how to use this information, it's like a language. If you know how to read it, this is like literally the manual they forgot to give you when you were born. Like, you know how to live your life so much better and easier.